Hey guys, it's LEGO Boys E3. Today I'm going to show you this amazing turning Rubik's brand. So as you might have figured out at this point, this is a Rubik's brand cube, as you can probably tell from the logo right there. And I've done a number of mods to it to make it turn actually quite a lot better than it originally did. I'm not going to walk through every single one of them or kind of do a tutorial or anything like that, because that would just take way too long. So instead I'm just going to go through one by one for most of them and show you just kind of what I did. The most apparent thing, which you probably couldn't even call a mod, is you see here I replaced the stickers with my custom shades, which kind of looks cool to have my custom normal shades on a Rubik's brand cube. I kept the logo on there just for fun. And then if you zoom in a little bit closer, you can actually see the corners of the pieces are a little bit rounded, definitely more rounded than the standard Rubik's brand. So if you actually take a look at the pieces here, you can tell that all kind of the sharp edges and everything have been sanded down. And this by far is the biggest mod that I did to this puzzle, and it has a decent impact. I'm sure all these places that I sanded down don't make the hugest difference. Some of them probably do more than others, like sanding it down right here probably helps quite a bit, while sanding it down over here doesn't really do a whole lot. And if you take a little bit further of a look onto the corner here, you can see I basically just sanded everything down. Kind of this three-part surface right here, I just kind of smoothed all into one curved surface like this, and all these little sides are just all completely smooth. And once I finished doing that, which took a really long time, I pretty much just sprayed some silicone lube, just kind of the standard spray stuff that lots of cubers used to use. People don't really use it much anymore. But yeah, I sprayed that into here, and it kind of smoothed all the sanded plastic down. It actually helped quite a bit to get it more of a smooth feel. And then before putting the stickers on, there's actually a couple more things that I did. First off, which is something you won't see every day, is I can actually take the cap off of this Rubik's brand. And you see inside of there is an actual screw. So if you take the cap off a normal Rubik's brand, there won't be a screw there. It'll just kind of be like a rivet. And if you try and turn it or just kind of do anything to it, take it out or anything like that, then it just won't do anything. It'll just stay there. So I actually have converted this to a tensionable system. You see in here I have an old core. This is actually the core of a Diane cube, and these screw and springs are from an old Shangshao cube, I believe. And because of the different design of the Rubik's brand, I actually had to cut the core down quite a bit just to make it kind of fit there. And I actually had to Dremel down all the screws too. But eventually I got it in here, and I got it to a pretty good tension. And you can continue on and tension this puzzle however you like it. The tensions aren't great right now. It still does pop a little bit every once in a while. But for me, it is just fine. And you might have just seen there something else about this cube. You've probably seen this from the title already, but yes, it is indeed magnetic. So that's the one last big mod. If you look inside of these edge pieces here, you can see that there are two magnets in there, just like any magnetic cube. Same thing with the corners, there's three of them, and they stick together just like that. It's really hard to actually notice that it has magnets. I mean, there is a little bit of a click right there every time you turn it, but it's really not much. Like when you're turning it like this, doing an algorithm, it's practically impossible to tell, unlike other cubes that I've made, like the magnetic Valk. It is pretty hard to tell that it has magnets. So yeah, that mod didn't really do a whole lot, but it is pretty cool that I did put magnets inside of a Rubik's brand, and you can kind of tell it if you're turning slowly like this. Kind of helps you line it up just a little bit like that. And the next time that I get more magnets like that in the future, I'll probably put extra ones inside of each of the pieces. So everywhere that there is a magnet, I'll put two of them, and that should add a little bit more of a magnetic feel to it, so it'll turn a little bit better. And so speaking of turning, we can just go ahead and do a solve just so you guys can see the performance of this cube in action. I can't speed solve very well right now because I'm kind of in the middle of transitioning from one method to another, but I will try a quick CFOP solve like this. It'll be pretty bad. Here we go, like this. It's also pretty hard because I am looking through the viewfinder of my camera to do this, so it's almost impossible to look ahead. That is one problem. The caps do fall off occasionally. I can fix that at the end. That's still legal in the WCA if one cap falls off. Yeah, I can just glue those on later, so it'll be fine. The one other major problem with this cube is the pops. It does pop occasionally, so I do have to be kind of careful while turning it. And that was pretty slow, but I solved it. But yeah, popping can be an issue if you turn really aggressively. If you do something like that, it'll probably pop out eventually because it's really easy. It doesn't take a lot of effort. You just do that and boom, pieces popped out. And the other main problem that you probably saw in that solve that will lead me to turn a little bit slower is the catching. It doesn't have a lot of reverse corner cutting, so it kind of catches a little bit every time you try and do something like that. Just because it's kind of hard to give a cube reverse corner cutting. I could sand it down a little bit more, but I'm not going to. It does actually have some pretty good forward corner cutting. You can do a piece pretty easily, which is pretty amazing for a Rubik's brand. But I don't want to bore you guys too much with this cube. Again, I'm not doing a tutorial because I'm not making another one of these because it hurt my hand to sand all those pieces down so much. It still kind of hurts now. And yeah, it's just kind of boring process, and it's not very rewarding. I would definitely recommend just getting a normal speed cube if you want a decent cube like this. Rubik's brand modding isn't really that efficient. But yeah, it is a pretty cool proof of concept, and that's pretty much it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!